This is C. Murray back again from a long hiatus, this time with a critical mode walkthrough of Birth by Sleep. A refreshing Kingdom Hearts game that technically canon, but it's more of an off story. Um, I've currently, or I've recently purchased Kingdom Hearts 2.5 HD ReMix, and I'm enjoying it. I beat 1.5, just the actual Kingdom Hearts game. I didn't get around to playing Chain of Memories, but I beat that on Proud mode a couple weeks ago, and it really put me in the mood for more Kingdom Hearts. It's an enjoyable game, and despite its problems with camera angle and mechanical controlling, and there's many. It is an old game that's just simply ported to the PS3, so that has to be kept in mind. And with this game, this is a PSP game that was ported, and it shows. The camera's atrocious. You'll be fighting the camera more than I have in 1 and 2, I believe, and mechanically it's not a mechanically sound game, but once again it came from the PSP, so you do have to consider that. But even for a PSP game, I feel like it's a little rough on the edges. There's times where you'll be in the middle of a move and it has its animation, and as soon as the animation ends, you're caught up getting hit just because of the way the game operates mechanically. I don't want to scare anyone away from playing the game. It is a great game. Just be aware of the game and the time period it's coming from and the console it's coming from, and applying it to a more modern console where games have been working on being better over time. Where this game is now up against our current generation games. Well, since it's for the PS3, it's not technically current, but yeah, even so, it's up against games like Destiny, which mechanically I enjoy, but story, it's so desolate, it's kind of depressing with all the hype and money they put into it, but that's another story. But I'm juggling this game and Kingdom Hearts at the same time, Kingdom Hearts 2, and you can just with playing between the two, they're different games. The way the two games operate are a lot different. This game focuses less on leveling, and while you do gain levels, it's more on, as we're reading here, the leveling up commands. It's more focused on abilities and commands, which I didn't think I was gonna like, but I actually, it grew on me. I thoroughly do enjoy it now. It's a little more creative. Later we'll learn about melding. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm perusing through the menu here. This is a post commentary, so maybe I'm perusing through the menu here from give me time to talk to you guys about it. I'm not sure. But as you can see here, there's 3 battle commands: quick, blitz, strike, raid, sliding, dash, arrow. And later we'll pick up abilities or buy abilities such as fire, blizzard, mini, which is excellent for crowd control. And then here with melding, as you can see, you could take 2 abilities and an item, meld it down, and you'll learn an abilities with an attribute that you can add to it. And then you also have finishing moves, shot lock commands, which is extremely useful with this game starting out at low levels, because it is critical mode, guys, and it is meant to be challenging, and it will be challenging. Playing Kingdom Hearts 2, I find it to be much easier than Kingdom Hearts 1, but I find this game to be more challenging than Kingdom Hearts 2. I'm not sure if that has to do with, mechanically, it's more restrictive than the PS2 version of Kingdom Hearts 2, and the port doesn't really address any of these control issues. They just cleaned it up and let us replay it, which, understandable, you kind of want a little bit more, but I was lucky enough to grab this game for 25 bucks brand new, so I can't complain. For 25 bucks, it's well worth your money. Even for 40 bucks, it's well worth your money, or whatever it is right now. But right here, we're just pretty much, it's a prologue. It's teaching you how to play the game. And, oh, this is another thing that's god-awful, which I'm fighting with right now, as you can see. well, you might not notice it yet, but the controls start off in Kingdom Hearts inverted. I don't remember if they did in Kingdom Hearts 1, but actually I think they did. Correct me if I'm wrong, but in Kingdom Hearts 2, you start the game with inverted controls and you're left to play a little bit of the time before you can change it. And this game is the same way. So you're getting used to the controls and introduced to the game with a set of controls that you won't be using later on. So you just bear through it, or bear with it and just stick it out, and then sooner than later we'll be able to change that back. But the battle system here is interesting. I do enjoy it. But there are gripes, as with every game. I believe when you're doing like the time-based commands, there are some of those. I believe when you're doing those, you can't go through your menu. And when you're in the middle of doing an ability, I don't believe you can sift through the menu either in battle. And that's kind of a bummer, because I kind of want to be constantly planning my next move, and this kind of slows you down in doing so. Pardon the noise, I'm getting a drink of water.
Told you I'm good.
I'm not a huge fan of Quick Blitz. For the beginning it's okay, but I will soon be getting rid of it once I get a chance. It's just, our focus here in this game is for the abilities. Ones that are going to benefit us later, and there is strategy to this game, and playing in critical mode, it's best to take it on with a strategy. So this is where we get to choose our character. I will be playing as Ventus, who looks very much like Roxas. We'll find out if there's any similarities. This is Aqua, and yes, we'll be playing as Ventus. And the other guy's Terra. I have yet to play either of the other two's campaigns. I do plan on playing them and covering them. But right now, it's extremely busy. I'm still currently in school, so college, that is. So I'm juggling that, and I also do like independent filmmaking and film production as a job, as a side job, so, or a main job, I guess. And then I also work for the film department at the university. So I do have a full course load ahead of me. But well, before I get too far off track, this is our first real battle of the game, and it's fairly simple. It's best to use shot lock. I'm not sure why I stray from doing this, but Kingdom Hearts is very much so. You can just dive in and just full on attack. It's not uncommon for people to play that way. But in critical mode, you can get through it by just, mashing your way. But there are some strategy, and shot lock is a good one to use in that battle. Or you could just use the strategy that I just did, because it seemed to pan out just fine. Furthermore, for bosses, I will give more detailed descriptions of preferred methods. But yeah, so far, well, that's it. We're going to be heading to our next area. Before I get too far, I would like to talk about the games that I'm currently playing and will be covering in the future. I've been on a minor hiatus. I got kind of sidetracked with everything, but I decided that I wanted to pick all this stuff back up. I know, I believe I was in the middle of covering Donkey Kong, Tropical Freeze, but with Nintendo's whole YouTube thing that we all know about, it was kind of a hassle. So the last non-Nintendo game I covered, I believe, was The Last of Us Remastered, the DLC Left Behind on survival difficulty, which doesn't mean too much because it's more of a story based. And I actually will be playing through The Last of Us again on survival difficulty. I have already beat it, but I have yet to play through it again in plus mode, so I'll be doing that. But that concludes the prologue of Birth by Sleep. Don't get too set aside by the complaints I have, because with the complaints there are many pros. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next vid.